I'm with you, bro. Let's just do this.
I don't know why, but whenever you drink, you become Midwestern, like Michigan.
What? Oh, well, I'm moving there anyway, so I guess that'll fit right in. But what do you mean?
Hey, dude. Uh,
Are you hearing? Wait, hey, hey, I'm not. No, not. Are you hearing an accent? Is something going on there?
a little bit, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I wonder
Only
if.
happens when you're drinking. I think it's the vodka.
Well, the plus side. Um, I can go sober after I move, and I'll probably still start talking that way because that's where I'm moving. We'll see. We'll see. Anyway, well, Nick, I guess at good a time as any, I'm gonna hopefully click the right intro this time. You ready?
It's the one with the stuff.
With the stuff. All right. Welcome to Nerdentials, your weekly dose of the nerdy essentials, covering film, TV, video games, and comic books. And this week is an exception, my friends. We're covering all three. Cue in the crickets. Feels a little casual in here. Sorry for the ASMR moment, friends. But did you just now unmute? Can you hear me now, Nick?
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Oh, thank God. I wasn't sure.
I was making sure you could hear me when I go to talk.
Oh, completely. Thank you for making sure connections are all clear. All pathways are present. Guys, I already said it. So, guys, I am your host tonight, one of two, Joe Tweeton, and I'm joined by a deep, not dearly departed, still here in all his affluence, ready to co-op at a moment's notice. I still have yet to see that. God dang it. But I present to you tonight, my friends, Nick Thomas.
Thank you. Thank you.
Was that you like that upfront vulgarity? I was trying to catch you off guard just a little bit.
You dropped the F-bomb. We've now gone into PG-13.
No. I do sit through all of our bullshit every week and edit appropriately. Anyone who's familiar with our
Boing, boing.
long lost host, we won't say long lost, it hasn't been long, but they're lost and they're not here tonight. Shout out to our two comrades who hopefully I will tag them so that they watch at least the intro so they can see the nice little post edit I put in the credits. Hope you guys liked it. That nice little stamp of not here. Kidding. I'm not going to be that straightforward or vulgar, but sorry you're not here, Ryan Kuhn, and we miss you a bunch, my soulless ginger, Matt Johnson. They're both gone this week. Too personal.
The absence is felt.
Predicaments.
Yeah. There is a few topics we want to discuss, but we are waiting till we have the whole crew to discuss.
But
unfortunately,
Nick,
it's putting these big topics further on the back burner.
Way to grind the grease into that back burner, Nick. I hope you like my analogy there. But, dear listeners, we won't skimp on coverage and we won't skimp on the mentioning of various coverage. The depth at which we achieve that coverage will be a little shallow tonight in this waiting pool that me and Nick are wading through.
As long as they think it's 6 inches, that's all that matters.
You know what? An average wading pool is 6 inches, Nick. So I hope everyone out there knows that. Get out your measuring sticks. It's there. But needless to say, we'll be covering the whole variety due to staffing and research staff.
Staffing.
I know. I act like we're a corporation every week, Nick. I act like we got this full team. Nope, it's just me and Nick. Me and Nick, and sometimes a couple others. There's no research team. It's all our own. I'd like to think we have a research team like Philip DeFranco, but no, Philip DeFranco. Wait, did I just say that?
You did.
That was weird, but oddly accurate.
We are going to be working on trying to get some more people to
We're gonna try.
join us and get some
Nick, we
guests
talked
in
about
here.
rotating. We talked about rotate. Damn it! Splitting over my words. Blech.
I have actually
Rotating chair of voices.
we had someone here a while back, and I've reached out and talked to him and seen if he's interested in possibly joining, and he is.
I've got two guesses. Hold on, can I guess? I got two. I got one that you mentioned a couple episodes back, if you recall. Lumberjack Sexy or no?
He will probably never come back on the
show. Shit. Sorry, whoever you were out there. Wait, what was it?
For the
a
sheer
lumber
fact.
snack? Was it a lumber snack? Anyway, my second guess. A man by the name of Tyler?
Yes.
I got it right this time. I screwed it up during our Snyder Cut conversation with Paul Roman and other guests. I say other guests because, well, you had cardboard cutouts, Nick, behind your back of all of us, so that was creepy enough. Kidding. It was good, though. Go check it out. Hour and 40 minutes of talk about an amazing dark DC film from one of our favorite directors in question, Zack Snyder. But that's neither here nor there. I'm excited, Nick. Keep talking to him. I would love to have him on, rotating, regular or otherwise.
Yeah, I'm hoping to get him in here because he's been doing a lot of indie gaming.
Yeah.
All the cheap indie games that come out, he tries to pick up, so that'll give us some more content. So
I would love to hear his voice on that stuff because I touch a variety of indie stuff on Game Pass, but I'm sure he's got an even more extensive reach when it comes to indie anything, especially with games and other content like that. So
Tyler, you've been called out.
You've been called out, sir.
Yes, get on there.
So, Nicholas, it's you and me. It's you and me tonight, sir.
It's you and me and you.
Oh, copyright, sir. We can't. We don't have the money.
I said it backwards.
You did.
Yeah.
Spot on, sir. What I want to throw out there, just a couple teases for upcoming episodes. We are not unaware of current events, especially current releases. One of being which Matt Reeves is The Batman with Robert Pattinson. Now, what I'm saying, Nick, is that despite anyone's either perceived opinion or they just saw it and that's their opinion, we're going to wait another week. I'm trying to get in to a theater showtime and check it out at some point. And when at least a couple of us can go see it, we will review it and talk about it.
I'll be able to watch it once I can get enough cheap Russian vodka to make myself blind of it. Oh, wait, that's not going to happen. It's banned in Oregon.
Damn. What a cold sell, sir, and on your offerings. But regardless, we know that's there. But guys, what we are going to cover tonight is usually what we have been doing is a full episode of movie, full episode TV, full episode gaming. Due to staffing problems and personal schedules, I know. What?
Again, staffing. Who the hell is getting paid?
No one. Sorry. Due to volunteer issues, I guess I have to say it that way. It's just going to be me and Nick. And we
doesn't feel left out.
Hey, you and me have procured a variety of topics to cover, and it happens to cover all three in our gamut of conversations. So, Nick, I want to lay one thing out there. We're just going to do the quickest and most bestest of housekeeping right now. Guys, if you're listening right now or watching, that's right, we're in two forms of media on the internet. This is a podcast, first and foremost. And because of that, you can find us wherever major podcast subscriptions are: Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, Google Play. Google Nerdentials podcast, and you will find our show. Now, if you're not on the road, you happen to be home and you're surfing through YouTube, we're there too at Nerdentials podcast on YouTube. We recently separated our mother channel because we got into a lot of gaming shenanigans, I'm going to be honest, and that kept growing on its own. And because YouTube likes specific content, we decided, well, our pop culture talk needs to be on a separate channel from our video game stuff. And although we talk video game news on our podcast, our main channel, Nerdentials Gaming, has all the gaming you could ever want: co-ops, let's plays, walkthroughs, first looks, and the podcast in all its glory, including movie trailer reactions, reviews, and otherwise, are on Nerdentials podcast. No matter how you look at it, Nick, if everyone Googles Nerdentials, they'll find all of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
but where can they find it in all one place?
All in one place. Oh, shoot. If you want the social media links and all that content, video or otherwise, including other written reviews and written material, and you're into reading, I dare say, I suggest they go to nerdentialsmedia.com. That's right, guys. Look at the splurgy words at the bottom as they scroll across the screen. Nerdentialsmedia.com. Everywhere our content can be found. But Nick, without further ado, I think that since it's just you and me, we need to jump right in, dude. We need to get right into the meat and potatoes of our weekly conversations. First up, my friends, we're going to jump into, if you will, Movie Matters. Welcome to Movie Matters, friends. Guys, we don't have any major news topics this week. Although I know a lot's going on in the industry, we will save it for a follow-up week. Today, or this week in Movie Matters, we are going to talk back and forth, me and Nick, about a couple films recently viewed, of which I sadly have been investing a lot in something along more of the gaming bits section of our episode tonight, which is where my lack of time to watch films has been. But Nick has assured me he has a couple, nay, at least a couple to talk about, maybe one surprise. So, guys, here we are. Let's discuss and review and converse about some films, Mr. Nick. What is the first one up for bid from you, sir? What, nay, are you going to talk about?
Movie, TV? We're on movie matters.
Movies, sir. Yeah, we're on movies first.
Movie matters. Both Hulu and HBO Max dropped it recently. It is the prequel to a series of movies, very James Bondish, spy movie-ish. This one is a prequel to both of them by quite a big margin. This is the inception of the program originally. This is a movie called The Kingsman.
Ooh, so what is it primarily on right now? Where can we see it right now?
You can see it both on Hulu and HBO Max.
Ooh, all right. Yeah, no reason not to watch it. I'm excited about that. Tell us about it. Give us a little rundown, sir.
The Kingsman stars the Fiennes. What's his name?
Ooh,
sorry, Ralph Fiennes.
Ralph Fiennes. Yeah, starring.
Yeah. It as Orlando Oxford. He's the original founder of the Kingsmen. This also happens to be during World War One.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So it says in early years of the 20th century, the Kingsman Agency is formed to stand against the cabal, plotting a war to wipe out millions.
Ooh.
I thought it was done very well. I loved it. It was very they kicked up the bloodiness and the visceralness for it. And there's still a lot of comedy, even though it's more towards the World War One era. You got a lot of good action to it. It kind of lets you know where everything started, and the reason why the Kingsmen were formed. You kind of had an idea of it from the other two movies, but this one kind of went more in depth to it, and it was really good. As you saw earlier, the guy with the long hair and the gown.
Yeah,
it was really cool to see Grigory Rasputin as a villain in an actual movie.
Dude, just out of curiosity, does it maintain or have any humor in it, like the previous titles?
Yeah, I just said they kept some humor on it.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. So what I'm hearing is you're not listening.
Sorry, I'm multitasking at the moment, sir.
No,
I may add that in post.
I don't want to throw in a whole bunch of things that happen in it, but there's quite a bit of humor still in it. It's more dry British humor.
I enjoy it
here and there.
Dry Brit.
So,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I do.
Well, because the Kingsman is a British agency.
Yeah, that's the other thing is like, I mean, 007 and MI6 originates in kind of in that same quarter of the world. What's your rating on this one, sir? What's the recommendation level?
I love the movie. I've watched it 3 times since it came out because it's pretty good.
Nick, I
do like the other ones better, but I'll give this one a 75.
Okay, fair enough. So you guys, no discredit to Nick's number review versus times watched. He just loves watching movies in general, and when they're good. No. This is this is not a down to you, sir. But when you love a movie, you watch it multiple times, and a 7.5 still comes out of you watching it 3 times.
Yes, even though I watched it 3 times, it gets a 7.5.
That just means you had a lot of evaluation under your belt. You were able to see it, re-see it, expect what you're about to see, and still enjoyed it. Am I right? I mean, right? Yeah, dude, that's awesome. It's a little over 2 hours, and it looks fun, dude. It's directed by Matthew Vaughn, and I like a lot of stuff he's done. Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, Snatch, Kick-Ass. He's even attributed as doing like Layer Cake from 2004, Stardust, and even X-Men First Class, which honestly I liked the fresh take with his X-Men. But I'm very curious to see his run on this one for sure, dude.
It was a good job. It was good.
I know it's gonna feel a little short-winded for some of this because Nick's the only one reviewing, guys. But
if I have someone to bounce stuff off of, we can go a little bit deeper.
Wait, say that again.
But usually, if I have people to bounce stuff off of,
yes, I know. Jab, jab, stab. Darn you!
But I'm trying to keep this very
sorry, that's not what I meant.
Unspoilered, so people can actually still enjoy it.
No, I know you're right, dude. Yeah.
But if you like the other Kingsman movies, I would definitely say watch this one. It enriches the lore.
All right, dude. Upon that recommendation and the fact that it's available on 2 major streaming services, Hulu and HBO Max, that's an easy press play option for a lot of people out there. So, right on, dude. Okay, you have at least one more that we talked about off air, and then I think you said, is there a third surprise coming?
Yes.
Okay.
So this
Well,
one we talked about before.
save that one for last. What's this one?
Okay. This one is Hotel Transylvania 4, Transformania. Now,
Ooh, Andy Samberg.
Yeah, this is number 4 in the series of Hotel Transylvania, piloted with Kevin Hart and Adam Sandler. I really enjoyed it. The kids enjoyed it. The humor was spot on. But something was nagging me the entire time. And I'm like, why is this so different? Why? And then I realized it. It doesn't have Adam Sandler voicing Drac anymore.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah. But the actor who took his place was really close.
Oh, you're right. I like him though. I like this guy. He's done it. Oh, holy crap! Wait a minute. Is this the guy we've seen on YouTube doing Disney voices?
Yes.
And he does impeccable freaking Winnie the Pooh.
That's exactly what it is.
Oh my gosh, guys, go look him up on YouTube. But this is Brian Hull.
Yep. Now, if you're wondering where you can watch this, this was actually written to stream one and only place, Prime Video.
So it's on Prime if you have a subscription.
Yep.
Right. Okay, so my girls have been specifically my middle kid, she loves the whole franchise and she's been waiting for this one. That's hilarious, dude. I'm gonna go in there blind. I'm gonna close my eyes and try to, when he talks, I'm gonna try to see, because Adam Sandler is pretty impeccable. Like, he's got a very unique voice, but that's nuts. They got someone else. But Brian Hull, I don't know how well he's honestly known in Hollywood, but if you guys look up YouTube, search him, he goes to Disneyland and talks to the people that work at Disneyland. He talks to them in the Disney voices, and he often causes a lot of the princesses who are actors at Disneyland. Sorry, children, didn't mean to break the magic. But he causes them often to almost break character because he just blows them away with his whimsical, he reminds me of the guy, the Jim nerd card being pulled away, that does original Winnie the Pooh and has done for a long time. Hold on, I gotta pull it up real quick. Jim Cummings has been around for a very long time. He does Tigger, Winnie the Pooh, and Piglet, and I think he even does Eeyore. He almost does all the characters. That guy is multi-talented, and Brian Hull, I would dare say, is the next Jim Cummings when it comes to character voice acting. And the fact that he was in Hotel Transylvania, that's freaking awesome. Next, alongside Andy Samberg and Selena Gomez, there's even Jim Gaffigan, Steve Buscemi, David Spade. A lot of huge comedic heavy hitters are in here with their voices, and this guy who's not widely known in Hollywood has been brought in for doing this. I'm really excited to see what he does in the future, but also my kids are adult nerding here, but my kids are more excited about this movie than I am. But I can't wait to see what else he does. What's your, sorry for going on a tangent, Nick. Did you have anything else to say about it other than your rating, sir?
Yeah. I was going to give a quick plot for you.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. After one experiment, Johnny turns into a monster and everyone else becomes human. Now it has to be seen whether they will be able to reverse this experiment.
I love the previous films, honestly. It's like a guilty pleasure.
If you haven't seen the trailer for this, I would definitely say watch it. It's actually quite humorous, and it kind of just leads exactly there, so you kind of get an idea of everything going on. But No, I really enjoyed it. It was really humorous. The kids loved it. They tied in a lot of stuff from the old movies and kind
That's
of just the
cool.
next progression in the life of the characters. It because of how much it threw me off, knowing that it was not Adam Sandler and hearing that it wasn't Adam Sandler.
But it sounded similar
It
still.
sounded similar.
That's funny. That's crazy.
Um, I I got to give this a 7.5,
Yeah.
which is still decent.
Oh yeah, no, it's a good.
But
It's still a good recommendation.
if you got kids and you've watched any other ones, watch this. It's definitely worth it.
It's another addition.
Yep.
All right, sir. Moving on, you have, and I'll be looking up some stuff in real time, friends. You have a third entry in your surprise
A
review.
sneak attack movie. Oh, sorry.
Oh shoot! All right.
Yeah. This movie stars Ryan Reynolds, Samuel L. Jackson,
Oh, I was like, it's not out
Selma
yet. I
Hayek,
was like, the one I'm looking for. Okay.
Antonio Banderas,
What?
and Morgan Freeman.
Oh shoot!
This is the sequel to a movie that came out year before last, The Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard.
It's right there and it's available on streaming. Like, where did you watch it, real quick, before you get into it?
I watched it on HBO Max. I'm pretty sure.
Hot damn! I'm pretty sure I knew that. Okay,
Yeah.
good. Let's talk about it, dude. Let's talk about it.
It leaves off after our boy Michael Bryce. His world has been destroyed by everything that happened in the first movie, helping out Darius Kincaid, who is Samuel L. Jackson. But he's trying to regain his status as a bodyguard, and he goes through this whole process where he's like, you know what, I'm done with everything. I'm gonna try to do this the right way, and then they come to him for help and just bring chaos with them. The inclusion of Selma Hayek was amazing. She's still drop dead gorgeous and
Yeah.
looks like she hasn't aged a day in the last 20 years.
Right.
But no, it was the chemistry between all three of them together was just hilarious. I loved every second of it. Well, actually, all four of them. Having Antonio Banderas in there too on this movie was really good.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, saw him in that.
You don't see him as a sinister bad guy nearly enough.
That's true.
But I'm not gonna lie. His character kind of gave me the feels of him playing his character from Spy Kids.
Oh, yeah, he is in that.
He had that cheesy kind of way of talking. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. But no, it was I really enjoyed it. A lot of good action, a lot of good funny moments because it's whoever thought of putting Ryan Reynolds and Samuel L. Jackson in the same room to make a movie. Comic genius.
The trailer makes it make sense, dude. And yeah, Samuel L. Jackson can definitely be funny when given the right material. And we all have a solid heart of gold for Ryan Reynolds.
Well, yeah, no, it's I see what you did there. No, and the funniest part about it is Ryan Reynolds in the movie isn't trying to be funny. He's acting as serious and as straight cut as possible. And
Damn.
the funny thing is the situations they get into.
Yeah. Well, and that's the funny thing is a byproduct of him talking, even in serious moments. He just has a charismatic way of selling humor through serious moments. And I always enjoy that about him, especially when we talk about Free Guy, Deadpool, his coming film, Project Adam, that we did a trailer
I'm
reaction
excited
on.
for that. Yep.
That's coming in just a few days, guys. That's like next weekend. It's the 6th right now that we're recording. It comes out March 11th for you guys. All right, sorry, the Adam Project. This one, I'm excited about. It came out towards the end of last year, but yeah, the bodyguard or the wife's bodyguard. What is it?
Hitman's
Hitman's wife's bodyguard.
Yep.
Yeah, dude.
Now you brought up Free Guy. That's another one. If you guys haven't been able to see it, it is now dropped on multiple different platforms. It's I'm pretty sure it's even on Disney Plus.
I wanted to mention this last week when I heard about it because my Xbox is on, and I get advertisements for different things on apps that I have, and it said now streaming on HBO Max and Disney Plus, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
At first, because then I was like, okay, I need to look up an article, like why? And I'm late to the game because this was announced late last year that it was coming to Disney Plus and HBO Max. Like it had been announced, and I was just late to the game of knowing that. Turns out, didn't know this, but prior to the acquisition of Fox, Free Guy was produced under 20th Century Fox prior to the acquisition, and it was delayed upon release, which is why it took so long until now to finally drop on Disney Plus. And honestly, guys, while there's a little bit of violence, it is pretty family friendly, and it blows my mind that it's available on Disney Plus. But also it's on HBO Max. They had like a multi-deal thing with Warner Brothers, and so it's on both, or whichever one you guys have.
And it was one of my favorite movies of last year.
Yeah, I would say for me, it's hard to give with comedies. It's hard to say, oh, it's Oscar worthy, but holy shit, I give it a solid 9 out of 10 for my personal enjoyment, dude. What would you say on that, just as a freebie rating, because we never covered it before?
What would I say? I would paraphrase Chris Evans. What the shit? As it was fantastic. Yeah.
Although
I'd give that one a 10. So.
Yeah, right on, dude. And although we're not covering it, just a little side note: Taika Waititi plays a hilarious nerdy game developer villain, circa Grandma's Boy. If anyone's ever seen that one, that's another high recommendation film with a similar
back to
idea.
Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard.
Sorry, let's wrap that up. You didn't narrate that. Sorry.
I really enjoyed it. Like I said, there's comedy gold. I couldn't stop laughing the entire time. And then there's things that happen that make you cringe. Like, ow. Yeah. And it's just, it's good. I'm going to give that one an 8.5. I'm going to watch it again now talking about it. It's probably what I'm going to turn on the TV as I'm trying to go to bed. So.
Yeah, dude, I'll absolutely be checking that one out.
No, it was good. It was good.
Right on, dude. All right, friends. We reviewed 3 4 films in our Movie Matters this week. All decent recommendations, according to Nick. And I vouch for the Free Guy movie. Another high recommendation coming from both of us. But without further ado, my sir, I think we need to do a little bit of what we all like to call TV talk. Welcome to TV talk, my friends. Getting a little faster, a little better with the transitions. Hope you guys appreciate that. If you guys are watching on YouTube, you'll notice those transitions. If not, it'll just seem like a seamless podcast experience. That being said, in TV talk again, a lot of news out there, I'm sure we could cover and will in the following week, but we've got a lot of crap, a lot of good crap, a lot of golden crap to review and suggest for your viewing pleasure. That being said, Nick, I think I'm going to toss it back to you just to kick this off with the first show that you'd like to review, sir. Lay one on me real quick. Not quick, however gently you'd like to lay it on me.
My first show I'd like to cover was dropped on February 25th on Netflix. This is the spiritual successor to the hit show by the History Channel, right? Vikings.
Oh, yeah. The spin-off sequel-ish Vikings.
Yeah, this is Vikings Valhalla. This
go.
actually follows up 100 years after the everything that happened with oh dang.
I'll be careful about what I show. It might be a little risque, you know what I'm saying?
With Ragnar Lothbrok and all them. This one actually is I loved every second of it. I do medieval reenactment, and I like some of the liberties they took with it, and then the way they just leaned into a lot of the history, and you get to see some cool things during the movie that you wouldn't have realized.
Not to interrupt you, but how brutal is it? Because I've heard people say they love bloody realism. And
this is bloody realism. You see people's heads chopped off.
Oh, okay. All right, yeah. Super, yeah. Adult on the violence.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's not gratuitous. It's like what you'd see in a war.
Elegantly placed.
Yeah.
Violence. Okay.
The fight scenes are well choreographed. The cinematography of the whole show was done very well. The accents of the characters were even researched very well to give that old world feel. You get a lot of the where you see the lords and the jarls and stuff of the Viking culture. You actually get to see, you can tell the difference that who they are, because like the furs they're wearing, the things they're doing, the markings on their face, it actually harkens back to historical accuracy. It's not the most accurate, of course, but
sure, there's mild embellishment in any series.
But I really loved it. This one, instead of Ragnar being our center of our attention, it brings back a name that's well known in history. The main character in this is Leif Erikson.
Oh, I'm only so familiar with this because I've done homeschool with my girls a few different times, and Leif Erikson was one of. Remind me, what's the tale? What's his role in the finding of the New World? I think there's some kind of correlation there.
He was just known as one of the greater sellers of Vikings.
Yeah. Sorry, I wasn't trying to pin a history lesson on you or anything. No. I was like, oh yeah, Leif Erikson was one of the earlier. Like we're nerds with fiction, but maybe not necessarily in history. But like Leif Erikson was definitely like based on a real world character.
He was actually considered the first European to set foot on North America.
That's what it is. It's that whole often confounded or argued with our past generation versus what kids are learning now is like, oh, Columbus was the first to set on the new land, and like that's not 100% true. And there were absolutely other groups that did land first, Leif Erikson being among some of them. But that's an interesting angle, sir, that an entire series, especially based on a very well-received original series about Vikings, to kind of taper off into that direction. What else do you want to say about it, or do you want to rate it?
I am ready for season 2. If they're going to go do a season 2, which they should, where they left it off, it leaves it at a point where they can.
How many episodes do we have on this?
Let me find out. I
Taking a
think
quick
there's
look.
8 episodes.
That's not bad. Are they close to an hour? Probably 50
Yeah,
minutes to an hour.
I think they're 50 minutes to an hour each. But,
nice.
No, like, yeah, it's really well done though. I really liked it. Now there's a lot of reviews going around right now that people are saying the show's too woke because of some of the stuff they touch and stuff like that.
Yeah,
No,
speak on that.
they dig deep into that time era, and during this time there was multiple things going on.
Experimentation,
The
probably.
no, I mean the Normans, the Europeans, the Englanders, London, were trying to get rid of the Vikings from their lands.
Okay.
So, and this covers some very historical things that happened then about horrible atrocities done to the Viking people. There's also something else happened here. When the Vikings became part of Europe and were mingling with the Europeans, a lot of them adopted the Catholic Christian religion.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
in this, you will find that there is a very brutal uh, way that they describe the Christian Vikings feelings towards the pagan Vikings. And honestly, I'm glad they went that way. And with how brutal it is, even as a Christian, they paint the Christians to be like villains. But when you think about it, in that time, they were very almost like burn them at the stake. They're witches, people like
yeah.
that.
Well, real quick, just if we have any slightly younger listeners by chance, hopefully you guys are all adults 18 or older, but because we are an explicit podcast. But I just wanted to throw out the Webster Dictionary definition of woke, because it's a thing now, and I've heard a lot of people reference it, especially people in their late 30s and 40s. It simply means that you are alert to injustice in society, especially racism. And I know woke can also be, with that definition, be thrown into many categories, including religion, fads, popularity, particular issues, or whatever the stigma is for our generation. So I just wanted to give weight to you, Nick. What did you mean by some people are thinking the show is woke versus what it's trying to portray? What are people saying about it? Because I haven't read anything about it.
One big thing about it, if you could kindly throw in that warning.
Spoiler?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, you gotta say Nick. You gotta say the word. Say it right now.
Spoiler warning.
Warning. Spoiler alert. Warning. Spoiler alert. You have been warned.
I love that mix of Fallout, Star Trek, Red Alert, and all that. But hey, side note.
And I'll keep my spoiler very quick because this is what's leaning towards
I will timestamp it for anyone, but here it is. Turn away for 30 seconds if you don't want to hear it. Go, Nick.
The leader of the biggest Viking city in all of Daneland is Kattegat. It is the gate to the rest of the Viking world. The leader of this city is actually a black woman.
Okay.
Who was a widower. So a lot of people are thinking they just threw that in there to throw some color into the show.
It seems inaccurate.
Not necessarily.
To you, or it isn't?
No, it's not inaccurate to me. I don't think it is. What I'm talking about, a lot of people are saying that would never happen. They just threw that in there
so people are saying, they're trying to be woke by throwing in a racial acceptance.
But if you think about it, the Vikings went everywhere.
Right.
And they took slaves, they took women, they took cattle, they took everything they could
that they wanted to take with them.
And she quite literally says in the thing that her husband fell in love with her and took her during a raiding.
I don't mean to like minimalize it, but it's a Pocahontas thing. It's like a proud white power race invaded a smaller country. Someone within that power fell in love with a native, and then now we're here, and our young generation is calling it woke because they don't understand the potential historical accuracy that this might imply. That's what you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just wanted to paint that picture for everyone. We're gonna move forward. We'll do a deeper. Leave a comment down below, guys, for anyone that listened to our spoiler. If you'd like a deeper discussion about pop culture and being woke, not making fun of it. It's a real definition. Look it up. I said it before the spoiler, but you're right, Nick. I get what you're saying, and I agree with you. I like
the
that.
other reason why a lot of people are saying it's woke is because how they are blatantly painting the Christians in a bad light in the movie. But during that time, the Christians painted themselves into a bad light.
There's a lot of historical context to justify what you're saying, and it does not mean it's woke. All right, fair enough. Yeah, I get it. All right,
come on. Yeah, let's just like Crusades.
Holy
we messed
crap.
Up. We messed up.
Yeah, it's fair to say a lot of people and religions have messed up. Some people still are. Don't paint everyone in the same light until you get to know them, I think is the good message we should leave with.
And they actually cover that in the show.
I love that. That. It makes me more interested to see it unfold. Aside from the fact that my guilty pleasure is violent historical depictions. But
this
anyway.
Is the one.
Yeah, this is the one. Let's get into it.
And you learn the truth behind some childhood songs that you sing.
Yeah, I love it. No, I do. I get what you're saying. Would you like to share the opening of one of them, or should we move on?
No.
All right, there you go, guys. That was your tease. So recommendation
if you like medieval, you like blood and gore, you like swords and fighting and just that whole culture. Who doesn't? And if you do, get out now. I mean,
we still love you if you're shy.
No, I'm joking.
But
no, these are fantastic. This show was great. I loved it. Like I said, I'm waiting for the next season. I like this just as much as the original Viking show, which was a masterpiece, I thought.
Holy crap.
So I'm going to put this one at a 9 because it was so short. That's the only reason why it's getting a 9. I felt left wanting more. But I thought they did great. Like I said,
Nick.
They tried to stick historical. They tried to keep with even the accents, the fighting styles. They focused on the armor that they were using. Yeah, you saw some leather and stuff, but here, no matter what anybody says, leather was used quite a bit.
Nicholas.
Yeah.
I don't do this often, but I'd like to make a point of it in the future. That any of us nerds on our show should have the freedom to challenge someone's rating purely because I don't think we have maybe the best outline for how we should abide by our ratings.
Okay.
But what I want to suggest to you is that a strong enough point in your opinion to take it down one full number from a masterpiece?
I do.
Okay.
Because if they would have given us two more episodes,
do you feel it needed it?
Yes. There's some points I felt they rushed to try to get through the 8 episode mark. Okay. That if they would have extended it by 2 episodes, you would have been able to get a little bit more backstory. You would have been able to get more feeling of the atmosphere of what was happening during certain times instead of it being rushed from one point to the next.
Fair enough.
Because they were stuck on a certain time period, they had to rush and condense stuff, and it suffered for it.
Okay, and that's what I want, the discussion I want to have with anyone in our future recordings for this podcast is like, um the number we give it, is it justified when everything is so perfect and there's only one hang up? Is it a big enough hang up to pull it away from perfection? And you're sticking by in your mind that it can't get a 10 because there's some things within the unfolding of its story, at least at this first viewing, that you feel diminished its gloss and shine, if you will. So you sticking by it, Nick's sticking by it, 9 out of 10. But guess what, guys? Honestly, anything 6 or 7 above is still, it's still, in I think all of our opinions, a recommended, like, check it out. But the fact that Nick is giving it a 9 is, it's kind of one of those absolutely check it out, unless you crazy don't like Vikings. Like, there's no reason not to check it out based on his rating. And I leave everyone with that, Nick. You agree with that?
I agree.
Okay. Just to switch it
I
up.
remembered after shaking my head that people sometimes listen to this instead of watch it, so I realized I had to say I agree.
Good on you, sir. We do need to practice a little more for the audio listeners only.
Because no one hears my brain rattle.
Yeah,
So.
no one sees your head shift. That's true. And I try to say air quotes when I actually make air quotes because not everyone's watching. But anyway, I digress.
Now, I did do air quotes earlier, but I didn't call it out. So,
well,
guess. Now you get to guess where those were. Don't worry.
Fair enough.
It's not a pass or fail test here.
No. And I wasn't trying to call you out for not saying it either, but I appreciate you pointing it out, sir. Okay. I'm going to queue up the trailer for this next show because I feel like as I describe it, it may be a little confusing at first.
This is a show you're watching?
Yep. Here's my surprise in progress review because it's a show that is still currently airing. So it's not, the full season's not done, it's not out, but it came out 4 weeks ago, roughly. So I'm going to lead with that. Give me 1 second because I didn't prepare for a credit reading of what this is, but I definitely feel it's deserved. So, guys, the show I'm about to talk to you is, as I am looking for it, a 2022 original, and not just any original. Friends, it is an Epix original. I'd like to shout out the podcast whose review I first heard about it, who led me to check it out. Upon their recommendation, I reference them a lot. I love them deeply. Popculture Leftovers. They're a long-form podcast, 3 to 4 hours every week, once a week. They go in deep, they go in long, but they cover a lot of stuff. They're very vulgar. Don't listen with kids around. Often I say that about our show, but they don't censor themselves. But they're better for it because it's they're hilarious to listen to. They recommended this show, and I went out and checked it. Now, I will preface this by also saying it's a mystery horror or horror mystery thriller of a show. It's being released on a weekly basis, but they dropped the first 3 episodes on, I want to say, I gotta watch the next episode because it just came out, but late February. So this is like brand spanking new. Literally came out less than 2 weeks ago. Actually, 2 weeks ago, they dropped the first 3 episodes. This is an Epix original. Now, if you guys don't know what Epix is a streaming service much like Shudder, which is a horror-specific subscription service. It's very similar to any of those. It's like Hulu or Netflix, but it's on the cheaper end because they don't have a large library. It's $6 a month. Now, here's the intriguing point I'll bring up before talking about it. Epix has a handful of original series, a lot that I've been highly recommended to. Another that I'll talk about that's Batman related, but we'll talk about that later. That's neither here nor there. Epix must have realized how small a niche they are that they somehow got a deal with Amazon Prime. And the reason I say that is because during Pop Culture Leftover review of this show, someone said, "Oh, I didn't." The lead guy Brian said, "You guys could probably find a free trial of Epix. Go sign up for it. It's only 4 episodes out there right now. Watch them all. Blah blah blah." Cool. So I did that. Mind you, I was at work and I listened to podcasts all night long at my job. And so I went and did the free trial. And then after my lunch break, I went back and continued listening to their podcast. And the other guys on the show said, "Oh, I didn't get an Epix thing. I found it on Amazon Prime." And he was the lead guy, Brian, was like, "What?" So I did my research. I went to Amazon Prime and I'm like, holy shit, Amazon Prime actually has some kind of special deal with Epix, EPIX, and currently 8 of their original series on Epix are available in full on Amazon Prime. So I'm like, hot damn, sorry, Epix, gonna cancel that free trial, gonna hop on Amazon Prime and start watching. That's exactly what I did. So long story short, let me review the show now because there are a handful of series I think you guys should check out from Epix. But now, surprise, surprise, I guess it's on Amazon Prime. What I'm going to say is, now that you know that little tidbit, I threw that up front so you'd be like, oh man, I don't want to get Epix. I don't want to pay $6 a month. So you could do that if you don't have Amazon Prime. But if you do have Amazon Prime, plus, it's available. So let me talk about it while I play the trailer. Play the trailer right here. It's a little lengthy. We'll play it and I'll talk about it. So, all right. Guys, Epix has put out an original show. The premise is unravel the mystery of a city in Central America that imprisons everyone who enters. Say what? As the residents struggle to maintain a sense of normalcy and seek a way out, they must also survive the threats of the surrounding forest. Now, I'm going to say right up front, first episode, you are going to get Stephen King vibes, down to the small town aspect, crows in the air, the weirdness that some of the townsfolk exhibit, and the soundtrack to this film. I can't list the exact songs that are playing, but it's very classy, diner-esque, 80s smooth rock, a little bit of Johnny Cash feel. The intro, I will say, at the beginning of every episode, there's a teaser, and then there's the credit intro. From executive producers of Lost, it promotes in this trailer, as you can see. Also, the Russo brothers that worked on Avengers Endgame and Avengers Infinity War are involved. It's got a lot of, in my opinion, unknowns. Actors that I wasn't familiar with prior to this, but I will say hashtag Paul Rudd, like not in this, but the lead father that's in this with the family who we are following that gets stuck in this town looks like a scraggly version of Paul Rudd, I'm not going to lie. But I would like to give credit where credit's due. The leads, at least for the main cast, we've got Harold Perrineau, Catalina Sedina Moreno, Elon Bailey, who actually plays as the dad, but good lord, he looks like a Paul Rudd. Ricky He, Hannah Sharmay, Sean Majumdar, little boy, Simon Webster. Don't know how much he's in, but he was a phenomenal little kid in this. You guys have seen the gist of the trailer at this point, and I'm going to throw this out there. It looks intense. If you guys are watching right now, it looks intense. The premise is what I said, but the scary thing about this is what happens at night. So basically, not spoiling anything, but in the first 10 minutes of the show, I gotta stop. I gotta switch off. I gotta stop sharing it because I'm just gonna give away too much. But what I would like to say about it, actually, you can watch the ridiculously long 3-minute trailer and still have no idea how good this is. So there's this family, wife, husband, teenage girl, and little brother in an RV driving cross country. They're trying to go camping, have fun, blah blah blah. Meanwhile, the opening scene, there's this sheriff who you find out he's the sheriff, and he's walking around the town, very small town, ringing a bell, and you're like, this is weird. Like real creepy vibes, and you see the townsfolk all walking back into their homes, and it's not really dark. It's just kind of like sunset, evening ish. Sun's out, but he's ringing the bell. People are going back into their homes. There's a weird, mysterious thing happening where at night everyone goes back into their homes. There's this weird rock-like talisman hanging by everyone's front door. All of them seem to touch it for a moment as if some weird thing, I don't know what it means per se. And then something really up happens in the first 5 minutes. I want to give one quick warning. I won't spoil anything in this review, but I will say, if you have an aversion to physical gore, and I don't mean like you see it happening, but you see the remnants of blood and guts type of thing, like it's not moving, but you see dead body. If you have an aversion to dead bodies, this might not be the show for you. It doesn't happen a lot, but in the first 5 minutes of the show, you will see, just a brief spoiler warning, but there is I want to say between the age of 6 and 10, a little girl on a floor with her chest completely ripped open, and she's dead. Like, it's a gory mess. They only show you that moment for 3 seconds. She's already dead. You don't see it happen, but it's there. And my wife is super, super sensitive to children and horror movies and anything gory or violent towards kids. So I want to say that it's not a regular active thing in the show. It's just a 3-second scene, but it happens really early in the show. So just wanted to throw that out there because I want to recommend something and someone come at me and be like, oh my God, you made me watch something that's so effed up with kids in it. It's not that. It's really not that. It's a short, brief scene, but it kind of lays the groundwork for what to expect with whatever is going on at night. The premise is the townsfolk hide away in their homes because at night something comes out of the forest, and anyone that's not in their home is likely to die a violent death. And that's kind of all you know. That's all we know. The other mystery is that anyone that comes upon their town gets stuck. And I don't mean physically stuck. I mean, Twilight Zone, stuck in a loop, stuck. You drive past the town on the road and you keep going straight. You don't make any turns. After a little while, you come back across that town and you didn't turn. You didn't go backwards. You didn't turn. The town showed up again and you were stuck in an endless loop that brings you to this town. And that's where the show starts. That's where we follow this sweet family who discovers that they are the next victims to be stuck in this mystery town. And all we know in that first episode is that whatever it is comes out of the forest. They look human, but they're not human. And holy shit. This thing has some twists, some turns, some Stephen King mess. You don't know what's going to happen next. And I watched the first 2 episodes with my wife, and it was so late, and she is desperately waiting to watch the next 2. And I looked online, and the 5th episode's already dropped. So guys, anyone that hasn't seen it yet, there are 5 full episodes of this. They run around 50 minutes, 45 to 50 minutes. And there's some violence, there's some blood, a lot of mystery, and a lot of it's an original story written by the writers and directors for this. It's not based on a book as far as I can tell. I've looked, but it has super heavy Stephen King vibes. Highly recommend. Right now, I can't. It's a review in progress because the season isn't finished. But the 2 episodes /4 that I'm going to get into before the end of this week, right now I'm giving the first 2 episodes a solid 9 out of 10. And the show is called From. I think it was in the trailer. You guys might have seen it. I know I didn't say it up at the front, but it's called From. All episodes. It's an Epix original. You can watch it on Epix or you can watch it on Amazon Prime. It's all there. Super intriguing, super mysterious, and it will give you chills. Sorry that was long-winded, sir. I might sharpen up some of my points, but I don't watch a lot of horror. I do more so because of my wife. I watched it on my own accord because my favorite podcast recommended it, so I checked it out, and then I'm like, I told my wife, honey, I want you to just watch at least the first episode. If you don't like it, I'm going to watch the rest of it and review it on the podcast. But if you do like it, I'll wait and watch it with you. And we stayed up till 2 a.m. After I got off work. When I told her that, she watched the trailer and she's like, I want to check it out. Boom. And my wife's like a horror fanatic, and she was hooked on the first episode, and we watched 2, and we're waiting the next night or 2 to watch the rest of them. Boom. Anyway, to my horror fans out there, Nick, what do we got next, sir? If you're still with me, sorry, I know that I talked a bit.
I don't have anything new. I do have some stuff I dove into for the first time for myself. There's some TV shows that I actually heard from people that I should give a go. One is a Netflix original called Raising Dion.
I've heard about this, yes.
It's about this woman who loses her husband in a freak storm and finds out that her son has superhuman powers. And she's trying to figure out the best way to raise him without letting anyone know this so that they don't take him away. And then it unveils a weird conspiracy. So,
ooh.
And they have a second season I'm actually currently on.
I've heard, yeah, that's coming, yeah.
And it was kind of interesting seeing this this take on a superhero. The kid's like 8 years old, five to 8 years old, doesn't understand anything, and all of a sudden has these powers where he can manipulate things with his mind, teleport, all those good things, and it gets him into trouble. But he has to find out who he is to become the person he needs to be. And it's more than anything, the mother in this is probably the superhero, having to deal with all that without knowing what the heck to do. But no,
right.
Show's kind of cool. It's cute. I watched it with my kids, and they loved it. It was just a different take on the whole superhero genre, and I really enjoyed it.
I love that, dude. You saw the whole first season then?
Whole first season, yep.
Okay. What's your rating on that first season?
I do feel that it is aimed more towards young adult kids type thing, because some of the humor kind of aims that way. But I would probably give this a solid 7.5.
Okay. It's a solid recommendation, regardless.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to check it out when I saw it, and it was just
got Michael B. Jordan in it.
Nice. Yeah, I saw that in the credits there.
Yeah. It was fun. But yeah, this is one you can watch with kids, so you don't have to worry about that. That's one reason why I recommend it. Anybody that wants to watch something superhero friendly for you to watch with your kids, this would be a good one.
It's clean.
For the most part.
Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah. The other one I watched is all right. I'm going to preface this by asking a few questions, Joe.
Oh, shoot. I'm here.
Do you like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon type thing? Kung Fu, crazy, extraordinary things?
Absolutely.
Do you like stuff like Matrix?
Also, absolutely.
Or the fighting scenes, how they're kind of over the top and it like slows down and goes all around and all that good stuff.
Yes.
And do you like Mad Max, the dystopian future that's just the world's destroyed and all that good stuff?
I'm all here for that, dude. What
All
do
right,
we
now,
got? What do we got?
Now cram them all into one show.
No, that's too much. Oh, overload.
Yeah.
Say again.
So this show is called Into the Badlands. It's an AMC TV series based off the book Journey to the West. And I actually read the book, so that's why it was recommended to me. It's loosely based off of it. It's not exactly the same.
Yeah. Is this the right trailer here that I'm pulling up?
This is the right trailer. This is in the future after nuclear war and all this. The world's pretty much destroyed. And the survivors have kind of risen up, and people have decided to take over as rulers in certain areas, and they're called barons. And these barons have these specialized warriors that are quite literally kung fu masters, and they train all their life to do one thing, and that's to kill for their baron. It follows that character you just saw in the red coat. His name's Sonny. It's a very bleak future. And yes, those are poppy fields.
Yeah, I see that.
Creators
of Smallville. What?
Yeah.
Hold on.
You'll see some big names when you
hold
watch
on.
this.
It says
some big faces.
Pulp Fiction, Django Unchained, and creators of Smallville. Oh, a mix of talent here.
And it has the feel of all of those. It's kind of weird.
That's an interesting thing, dude. Yeah, I like that. That's cool.
Yeah. Basically, in this future, guns are outlawed.
Okay. All right.
That's why you see people with swords and stuff like that.
Yeah. Just as deadly if you're not careful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dude, it looks good. How much have you watched? How much is out? It's been out for a while.
I think it has 3 or 4 seasons. And I'm just a few episodes in the first season. I just started watching this the other day.
Oh, you are in early or young into it, sir. It looks like it's ended 2019.
Yeah, it ended, but everyone I've talked to has said it's really good.
Yeah, it's a definite checkout series. 32 episodes, 3 seasons, and they're roughly about the 40-ish minute mark for episodes. That's cool. Where can we check this out right now? Currently, where is it?
Right now, I'm watching it on Netflix.
On Netflix, it looks like it was originally AMC based on the trailer because it was an older trailer. Yeah, I know that's cool, dude. Hey, new thing on Netflix. Hello. On IMDb, it actually says watch on Netflix right here. So that's cool.
Nice.
That's cool. Yeah, and they're listed as chapter instead of episodes as chapter 4. 2 tigers subdue dragons, stuff like that. It's a 2015 series, guys. I'll give it a go.
Like I said, it's got a lot of faces you see big in movies and TV now.
Daniel Wu.
Daniel Wu, Nick Frost is in it. Martin
Emily
Kasakis.
Beecham.
We
Some of
got
the bigger names here.
Louis Tan from Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And you said Nick Frost. Yep.
Stephen Lang's in here.
Yeah, dude. There's a lot of faces in here. Daniel Wu looks like he's in the whole show. Sunny, 32 episodes is the character he plays.
Yeah, he's the main actor.
Yeah. He's the guy we saw in the trailer. Nice. What do you give? Do you have a general in progress review rating for what you've seen so far?
I don't know if I've ever told you guys this. I'll give you an inside secret into Nick.
Oh dear.
I am a kung fu freak.
Nick's
probably
a freak.
Probably the movies I've seen more than anything and watched more than anything is old kung fu movies. I like the fighting. I like all that. And
anything Del Toro, am I right?
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking Kill Bill. 1 and 2. Del Toro.
Yeah, no. It's just the whole I've always liked the kung fu, the fighting movies and stuff like that. Jackie Chan, Jet Li, Bruce Lee, the old Chuck Norris ones.
Sorry. I need to nerd card correct myself. I am so sorry.
Yes, you do.
Quentin Tarantino.
I was not going to call you out on it.
I appreciate that. And I could delete the whole moment where I said that, but I'll leave it in to be honest. To be honest to our listeners, I screwed up.
No, but because I'm a sucker for a kung fu movie, this one gets a 9 from me.
A 9.
The fighting scenes are so fresh, so clean.
So fresh, so clean. Alf, are you finished? Are you close to the end of season 1 yet, or not?
No, I just started it. I'm a few episodes in.
Oh man, so your hot take of the first few episodes is a 9.
Oh, the only other show I could think that hooked me this hard was Prison Break.
Oh, that's a tall order, sir. Because I was one of those fools that got wrapped in hard for good reason. But
yeah,
I will. It's on Netflix. That's an easy click for me. I'll give it a go, dude. Do you have? I know there's some bigger shows. We're kind of holding off on them. I do want to, since you just did one, I just want to do a soft review, not a review in progress, because I've seen the whole thing, so I'm going to give my honest number take on it. But it's one our fellow co-host Ryan Kuhn has been dying to talk about, and so for that,
Hello Kitty Island Adventure.
I know he's not here for that, huh?
I had to sneak it in somewhere.
I don't think that it'll ever get old, sir. As long as you find a way to sneak it in, I'll let you sneak it in.
Whoa.
Okay.
The Legend of Vox
Machina. 2022 series. I have to review it at the very least. A soft review. I won't go in deep. I'll keep it casual as it is. The show in question is...
You won't go in deep like Scanlan?
No, not like Scanlan. And to be fair, the show is super adult, so I don't want to go in deep unless I'm with Ryan. I don't want to go in deep unless I'm with him.
Do we need to tell your wife?
I hope he listens to this. No, truly. Hold on. I will, because it's way too adult for me to like throw actual snippets in here, but I'm gonna throw in the widely received public trailer for it.
Not the red band.
Yeah, I mean we could. I guess it doesn't matter. No, I'm kidding. I don't want to do that right now. We'll save that for Patreon. Oh, there's the red band trailer right front and center. Oh, I kind of want to.
Nah, it's fine.
No, well, yeah, it's okay. We've reserved not going hard, pun intended, not going hard with our channel because we want everyone to just at least hear the thoughts and opinions. Man, if you want a little bit more, you can pay for a little bit more. Patreon.com.
Tell them the show and give us your review, dang it.
All right, here it is. All right, show a little snippet of just kind of what it looks like. At least the animations. There's the gore. He saw right there. Oh, head to cap. So the violence is there. The one thing you're not hearing. Hold on, we need to fix a few things. Boop. Sorry, he didn't see that. We don't pre-record our trailers at all. Apparently, I'm kidding. What you'll see is the animation style at the moment. So the animation style, fully animated, hardly anything CG, maybe a few moments depending on the circumstances, but by and large, it's gory. Just in these little snippets, you can see there's drinking, there's innuendo, a lot of blood. And by a lot of blood, I mean, okay, I'm going to stop showing because I need to focus on the actual talking part here.
A lot of blood and dragon turds.
Blood, dragon turds, and if we're being honest, I will throw this out there. And I'm curious to hear Ryan's take on it because he's in love with it as much as I think I am. I thought when I saw the first episode, Amazon Prime does this funny thing where some episodes in a show can have a higher adult rating, and it's kind of like individual episodes are rated. Like the whole season might be like a PG-13 or 16 and older, but then like one individual episode might be so extreme that it says 18 plus. And I'm pretty sure. I haven't rewatched it yet since I finished the season, but I'm pretty sure episode 1 was rated 18 plus because of violence, language, and yes, nudity. I'm talking there's a penis on screen.
Don't worry, it's just a gnome penis.
Regardless, it's Game of Thrones worthy, but animated, I'd like to say. And much like Game of Thrones, it kind of watered down on some of the more extremes like nudity. I will praise it for the fact that the violence kind of never let up, although there's some slow spots through the first 12 episodes I watched. It never shied away from the gore, the actual violence, head decapitations, smashing bodies being ripped apart. Amazing. What I'd like to say though is that this show, The Legend, I guess I didn't say it up front. I know, I'm gonna have to edit that in.
The Legend of Vox
Machina. It's actually there is another season coming. But there's only 12 episodes on Amazon Prime. It's an Amazon Prime series. It's created by Nick. Maybe you can help me on the name of the group. It's a D&D group on YouTube.
Critical Role. DM'd by Matt Mercer. Critical Role, you'll know, has a whole bunch of very well-known characters that play throughout their D&D sessions. Everyone, everywhere from Joe Manganiello to Will Wheaton. They've had a whole bunch of different people on that.
I was gonna say you're listing off some bigger names that people will know for sure, and I'm guessing from Critical Role, a handful of the voice actors are from a lot of that group. I have not watched a lot of Critical Role on YouTube, but I do know that a lot of those folks created Vox Machina, the story, and that's why I'm going to keep this light. I don't want to get too deep. I want Ryan to give us his fandom in it, and we'll talk with him on his feelings. What I will say is it's a group of misfit swords for hire story. You've got your brother and sister. You've got an elvish girl with magic. You got your brother and sister. You've got, I think I think they're elvish. You got another elvish girl who's super into magic. You've got your
She's a druid.
there you go. And you got your Drax character, sorry, Grog. Love him. He's simple-minded in a different way. I wouldn't say I'd say similar, very similar in how he acts. Often takes a lot of things literally, kind of like Drax in Guardians of the Galaxy, kind of similar in that sentiment. Then you got your Scanlan and your the little one, Pike, I think. Yep. You got two gnomes. One's kind of a saint, speaking to the light. She uses a lot of she's the holy one in the group.
Cleric.
Cleric, yeah. She uses a lot of healing and stuff like that. Scanlan, well, I mean, he's the bard, the gnome, and he's our Peter Dinklage in the group. So I was trying to think of his Game of Thrones name.
Scanlan is the class druid.
I was thinking more about the caricature of them more than his. I mean, he has a musical instrument and sings with magic, but also he's the sex addict. He likes screwing around with any maidens in any town and tries to hook up with everyone. And he's not particular. He's bi. He likes his men and women any way he can be tantalized. So, sex addict, I think, is accurate, Nick. But anyway, so you got your brutes, your big guys, and there's unique relations between all of them. There's unique friendships between all of them. There's heart. There's subtle romance. Keyleth and Vex or Vax, I forget. Liam and Lori. Okay, Vax. The twins, the brother-sister twins, they're called Vex Alia and Vax Silden. But for short, Vex and Vax. It's often confused, but Vax is the guy, I think. But anyway, he and Keyleth, the female druid, as Nick put it, there's a little something going on between them. Scanlan's always hitting on everyone. Grog, the gentle giant, I call him, has strong affection for Pike, the little female gnome, and they're like best friends. And the unique guy out of all of them, Percy,
Gunslinger.
The gunslinger, he has a unique disposition in the story, and I don't want to go super deep into it. There's something that ripped apart his childhood, an ongoing vendetta towards reclaiming what was lost. Literally, the dude lost everything, and I'll just keep it as vague as that because there's a lot more to it. But he has the sickest 6-shooter. He's got something demonic that's just latching onto his soul in the background. And there's a mystery behind him. And this whole group of misfits is just, they care about each other. And they're just trying to survive. But episode 1, there's drinking, there's sex, there's violence, there's gore. It's like, oh my gosh. And I'm only slightly let down that I get sort of. It's a side note. I'm only slightly let down that they didn't maintain the extremeness of episode 1. But in all fairness, the creativity.
But they did.
No,
just in other ways.
Sure. Nick, I know you read up on it, but can I pick your brain? Did you watch any of it?
Yeah.
How much?
All of it.
Well, what the fuck? I thought I was reviewing this solo.
No, we were waiting to do the review for good old Ryan.
You're right.
You were doing a light review.
I thought I was. I'm trying to. Or we'll
And
stop.
you found that rabbit hole and dove on in.
I know. Okay, we're okay, we're pulling back. Nick knows way more than I thought he knew, and screw me, damn it. Okay, we'll give our numbers, and then we'll rally up Ryan, and maybe we'll do a special episode just about it. I think Ryan deserves at least that much, and I think the depth of this show could warrant like a half hour, 1 hour special. I think it could warrant discussion because it's such a beautiful, creative conglomeration from a group of individuals that they do this for fun. They are role playing content creators, and this is kind of an original story coming from the group of people known as Critical Role on YouTube, and they managed to get this put into like the mainstream world
through crowdfunding.
Nick, do you have any stats on that, or you just want to leave it at that and we'll go deeper later?
Oh, we'll go deeper when Ryan's here.
Okay.
I'll get a full write-up of what they did for it.
Okay, sweet. All right, guys. Look forward to that in the next week or two, depending on when we can get Ryan on for this discussion. But Nick, I'm going to lay this out here, and I think we'll move on from TV talk after this. I think we need to because of how long this episode's going. But I want to give our listeners just an idea of, first off, check it out. Go into it full-blown knowing it's an adult cartoon. Do not watch this with your kids. That's our recommendation. How you parent is up to you, but this is a rated R affair, if you will.
Now, if any of you are D&D players, tabletop, know that this is very based off of D&D. This is in, obviously, Matt Mercer's world, but they lean heavily into all the wonderful tropes we love in our games. Be wary that the bard does try to seduce everyone, and it comes out in the show graphically.
Episode 1, you're going to see more than you thought you were, just as an upfront, like in your face thing. And I think they did that just to be like, blam, here's what might happen, and then we hope to carry you through a nice, deep, wonderful, heartfelt story. And they covered all of it. No, I feel like they did for a season 1.
And what is that gnome doing to my daughter? Nothing, mother.
I'm just saying I want to reference a lot more. I want to go deeper. And guys, this review is a teaser for a future episode. It will be publicly available on YouTube and where podcasts are found in the coming weeks once we get into it. I personally, and I don't be surprised if I hear different numbers, but for me, level, depth, heart, the viscosity of violence, violence and sex and vulgarity is nothing without heart. And holy shit, this show delivered all the heart in every category, with all the previous categories just being the dressing to this fantastic feast that I had for an animated show. And because of that and the acting and the soundscape that I was led into, I give it a 10 out of 10.
Nice.
For an animated series on Amazon Prime. Nick, do you feel comfortable giving a rating right now?
I do feel comfortable, but I'm not going to do it.
Oh, shit.
I want to wait for Ryan. But I will tell you, watch it, and I'll give you a score later.
Nick approves of my recommendation to watch it at the very least. At the very least.
I'm going to embrace my inner Italian.
Do it.
I approve.
Do it. Chef's goose. Anyway, guys, that's gonna Nick. If you oblige and are cool, this wraps up our TV talk. Yeah. All right.
Yes, it
well,
does.
I think because this is part of one episode, or I'm pretty sure it has to be or will be. We're gonna wrap everything up with a little bit of that, some censorship, and a little bit of this. Gaming bits. Welcome.
Shit, we have a whole other section.
Sorry. It doesn't have to be. Well,
I'm joking. Go ahead.
You want to wrap up? We're at 2 hours or close.
Let's make it quick. We got the $5 foot long of episodes here. Let's do this.
All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna give right now a review in progress, if you will, because the game is so deep that I'm about to talk about that I haven't felt or experienced the whole breadth or thickness of what this is.
And this is another one that will probably get another deeper review later, because I know another one of our cast members are deep into it too.
Yeah. Another cast member has 30 hours into this from last time I talked with him. Shout out, Ryan. We were talking about none other than From Software's next hard, tough as nails, damn it, I need to buy another controller game experience in their Souls-like affinity for games. Elden Ring. Elden Ring came out less than a week ago. It is, for all intents and purposes, their open world first time entry into taking their Dark Souls style brutality of gameplay into a different direction, if I will. And I'll preface it by saying combat and the expectation of combat aligns perfectly with all their previous entries. From Software is known for Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3. Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice, which was honestly actually one of their first entries, official first entries into a more open world style, but still maintaining a very Dark Souls combat style. And now Elden Ring. Nick, correct me if I'm wrong. Demon Souls is a prequel to Dark Souls, right? They're responsible for that?
They are responsible for it, but I don't know if it's a prequel.
Okay, well, I won't lay that into stone, but Demon Souls, Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3, Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice, and now Elden Ring. And one philosophy that they always state in media and press releases is that every entry in their portfolio of games is to always outdo or improve upon their previous entry. So the combat has kind of stayed true to what they have now been labeled as. It's now that their game Dark Souls is now been treated as a subgenre of game. When we talk about types of games, we say, oh, it's like with platformers and side scrollers, sometimes we say Metroidvania is in itself not a game. It's become, though, a conglomeration of two game types, procedurally generated, side-scrolling, puzzle-solving, hard to play through type games. Not always hard, but Metroid games and Castlevania games have carried these characteristics, and a lot of games that emulate the both of those have been now labeled as Metroidvania. So, Dark Souls has also now carried the weight of becoming a subgenre of game that people enjoy, love, and hate. It all comes down to now when a game fulfills the combat levels and skill levels that you find in a Dark Souls game can now be called Souls-like. Just like you say, roguelike, Metroidvania, like those are subgenres of something that's come before it. Souls-like is now a type of game that has a lot of depth in its combat, a lot of challenge, and in a lot of these games, there's several other things about it that make it that. But like the big keys in this, in it from my, and this is coming from a first-time player. I played Dark Souls 1 recently in preparation for Elden Ring coming out. Not because I expected it to be exactly the same, but I just knew from all the things I've heard and read that this was their next game, but it was an open world version of what they're used to. So I was like, okay, so there's a lot of expectation that this is going to be hard and brutal. So I tried out Dark Souls. Didn't play a lot into it, but I have learned and through my own research gained the understanding that these games don't have a difficulty setting. There is no easy, medium, hard, hardcore, legendary. The game is as hard as it's ever going to be, no matter if you put 2 hours into it or 2,000 hours into it. The difficulty doesn't change. And for Souls games, they're pretty linear in design. You go straight forward, and a lot of people rage quit because with Dark Souls games, there's not an open-ended direction to go in. You go through dungeons, you go through bosses, and at some point it gets so hard you can't get past a boss, and a lot of people quit because there's nowhere else to turn. Now, the interesting thing in that, I did not try Sekiro Shadows Die twice. I know Matt played a lot. I think a few of our other hosts here have played it before. I know that introduced different elements about that kind of gameplay, but what I've heard is Elden Ring is the first time they've gone in a very different direction with the management of that difficult skill level in their combat. I will say this, I've put personally 12 hours into the game. The combat is crazy. It is rewarding if you are willing to give it time and practice, or even in this sense go through grinding, because the difference in the thing they introduced here with this game is it's not linear. You're not locked in, Nick. I think that's kind of one of the key factors with Elden Ring. One of the key factors why I think more people will give this a shot than a Dark Souls game. Like if you've been a hardcore Souls fan for the last 5 years and you recommend a Dark Souls game to a friend, they might be like, nah, no thanks. But Elden Ring, it's from the same creators. This might be the first time a Souls fan might be able to recommend a game from software and say, hey, this is a different take. It's still brutal. It's still challenging, but it's a little different. It's open world. It might be a little more forgiving if you give it a shot. The reason I say forgiving is you can go one way, come across the boss, and just absolutely get slaughtered instantly and not be able to go any further. You're not gridlocked in that direction, Nick. You can be like, all right, screw it.
So-
Head east. And you go and you get slaughtered again. Well, shoot. All right, let's go south. The point is, you're not locked into being forced to try to get through the one unbeatable boss.
You're not good at these light reviews, are you? You just dive.
Sorry.
Deep.
I know that premise was better saved for when Ryan's here. Or, although I would have taken the spotlight from him talking. I'll wrap it up here. I gave a premise to kind of describe my experience. It's my first time playing something from them, and I tried Dark Souls, and I didn't hate it, but it's not something. It's something I would have dropped very quickly, especially with that never being able to get further until you just get good, and that's kind of the meme online with Dark Souls games. Get good.
Yeah, I haven't played any of the Dark Souls series because I'm not a masochist.
Yeah. But here's where I would encourage the trying of, at least, regardless of your past apprehensions of the previous series, because the things I want to say about this in short, like shorten it up right now, and I'll
Just
say
one real quick thing though.
Go ahead.
In the last year, I've gone through 4 controllers, snapping them in half because I get pissed at playing first-person shooters. What do you think a game like that will do to it?
What FPS games? Call of Duty?
Destiny.
You've broken controllers over Destiny?
Yeah.
Oh, well, then don't even try Elden Ring. I'm sorry. I'll be honest. I'm like, if your controllers are that fragile during your Destiny gameplay, yeah, I don't know. Buy a super cheap Mad Catz controller before doing Elden Ring. I'd still say try it, and for this reason. The reason I'm about to say, the review part here. I've never been interested in a Souls game ever because just the difficulty. I don't even care about the lore. I don't care about the prettiness of it or the story. I'm not interested in the torturous, tumultuous experience of just being slaughtered over and over again until you get good. There's a funny video on YouTube I'll link down below that I think explains the Souls experience perfectly, because it explains the perspective of why people love it versus why someone will hate it. And I'm not going to discuss that here. I'll talk to Ryan. We'll have a discussion with Ryan about why you'll love it or hate it. But the challenge is there, but the freedom to explore the world that's there is so vastly different from a Dark Souls game. The other thing I'd like to praise it for, and I don't know how deep the lore really goes when it comes to George R.R. Martin's involvement, but they label him in the credits as being the lore guy that literally From Software made the game and the creatures, and he came in and added the spice of lore to it. There's definitely a hardcore Game of Thrones feel to the whole world as a whole, but don't paint it in that corner. It's Lord of the Rings meets Game of Thrones. It's dark, deep, nasty, gigantic bosses, unrelenting foes. And I've only touched 12 hours of this, guys. I've heard that even 30 hours of gameplay, which Ryan has under his belt, is only scratching the surface. I'm still in the opening area, which is a gigantic map. And I went ahead and spoiled it for myself. I Googled how big is the map. I wanted to see it real quick. And I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah. No,
it's 10 times bigger than the starting area you're in.
Oh.
10 times bigger. There's snow, volcanoes. It is.
I kind of get worried when you say that George R. R. Martin helped with everything.
Why? Because he hasn't finished his stupid book.
No, it makes me think it's going to have midgets and incest.
No, none of that so far. I've put 12 hours and I haven't seen any of that, but ha 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 ha. Yes, I get your humor, sir. I hope everyone else does too. But visually, the game is striking. I'm playing it on an original Xbox One from 8 years ago, and there is frame rate stuttering. I've heard other people say on current PCs they see some stuttering. So, like, the only real criticism of the game is a little bit of the hardware versus software. Some people are having a little stuttering. Some people aren't. A lot of people are recommending play it in 1080p. Like, if you have the option to force it into 1080, your frame rate will be a solid 60, blah blah. And I'm like, I don't care because I play on a 27-inch monitor. I don't need 4K on a 27-inch monitor. So that's my argument. When I get next gen, which should be soon, Lord willing, I will update you guys on my feelings about the frame rate. But the game, the one thing that's different about this, other than it being challenging, and is the simple fact that this game, like Dark Souls games, doesn't hold your hand. There's no tutorials. I mean, there is a tutorial, but it doesn't hold your hand. It doesn't say, "Hey, do this, do that." Bro, I just want to say, like, this type of game is not usually my cup of tea, but for whatever reason, and I think it's the open-endedness, the open aspect, the just go wherever you want, whenever you want. There's no level gating. It's like, walk too far this way, meet some guys you can't handle. Bam, you're slaughtered. Start over, not start over, but like revive at last checkpoint. Whatever. And but just that it's amazing. I want to say it's amazing what they did here. They took a game, a type of game that they're famous for, that's super challenging when it comes to combat, and then they also added this insane open world depth, dude. There's no markers on your map. When I said they don't hold your, I mean, there are markers when you find something significant, storyline or otherwise. A marker is made on your map, but while you're exploring, there's no markers. There aren't these side quests that Breath of the Wild Zelda, here's 20 different places you can go and hit your checklist. There's no checklist. Instead, the game gives you markers. It gives you waypoint markers, different symbols, a skeleton, a warrior, a plus sign, and you get to decide yourself what those mean, and you get to place them on the map where you think something significant should be remembered. So if there's like a catacomb, a cave, or a boss that was too hard for you, you couldn't beat it, you know what I do? I take the skull icon and I place it on the map right where that is, and I'm like, I'll come back later, and I go somewhere else.
Or never return.
However you want to deem those icons. And so some people might feel with the lack of direction, that's super frustrating. But for someone who's played a lot of open worlds and had a litany, 20, 30 side quests just constantly sitting in your backlog of things to do, this is one of those breath of fresh air directions that you just never expected to see in an open world game. There is a main storyline here. And I've heard it's roughly, if you're really flipping good and super skillful at your dodging and attacking, even though enemies are brutal, theoretically, you could get to the end of the story in about 30 hours. Most people are taking 60, 80, and sometimes 100 plus hours before they even finish the main storyline, because there's just so much leveling up, and the leveling up system is pretty interesting and unique, and I'll talk about that later. But there's no cap. There's no level cap. When you get enough points, we'll call them experience points, but it's called runes in the game, and it's both the currency for items and it's also your experience points. It's spent the same way across the board. Every enemy you kill earns you X amount of runes. So it's kind of like experience points, but you also spend it like cash. It's kind of weird. But in the leveling up system, when you have X number of runes, you can raise attribute points your main attributes, strength, dexterity, charisma, whatever, like you would. Or you could go buy armor for 500 runes. It like I said, it's a weird concept. It works like currency, but it also is used to level you up. And every character level equals one attribute point increase. So if I raise my strength up 1 point, I'm one level up. So that's all I'll say is like it's interesting, it's unique, it's fun. I went with Vagabond armor, shield, sword, warrior. A little slow but heavy on guarding. And I started at level 9 and I'm level 20 after 10 hours of gameplay. Theoretically, I guess the cap is 99, kind of like Elder Scrolls on any attributes. You could get your strength all the way to 99, and if you get all the attributes up to 99 each, you could theoretically get up to level 700 something. I guess there's no cap, so you could endlessly grind if you want to, but regardless, I don't know right now. I can't give it a 10 because I don't know what the long-term journey is for me in this. I don't know if I'm going to get to the end or if I'm going to give up. But for everything it has, everything it offers, and how nonstop, no matter how long I play, I'm always finding something new. Even though I'm slaughtered a dozen times, I'll just be like, all right, I'm done. Let me turn around and go somewhere else. I still find new stuff all the time that I can get through. And for that, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. The 10 I'm reserving for how I feel after I've given it all my time whatever time I feel like expending to get to the end of whatever the main storyline is. I feel like it deserves a 10. It's getting 9s and 10s across the board critically and critically, commercially. But I'm personally give it a 9 out of 10 for being one of the most amazing, brutal experiences I've ever had.
I give you a 9 out of 10.
Thank you for that, Nick, because we're not all perfect, and there's obviously a point out there that I'm missing or short on. Anyway, as Nick mentioned, I don't know if it'll make it in the cut or if I ended up cutting it out, but I was longer winded than intended, and this is supposed to be a light review, and I'm waiting for Ryan to give us his perspective. Which
he just got so gung ho about it. It was
his review will be so much shorter than mine. The conversation had back and forth could potentially go longer.
No, if you don't know this about Ryan, he's played all the Souls games.
I've heard this.
Yes.
He's mentioned that to me, I believe, and I think that's why he told me he was so excited to get into this.
Well, we were also going to cover the release of Destiny 2, but we're going to put a hold on that. It's been good. Get out there, play it. It is a whole different game, and definitely worth the play. It's
Nick. How about you tease the statement we talked about, like how you feel about where Destiny's at in a single statement, as a tease for why you should jump in. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Yeah, it's where we've wanted it to be for all these years, and it's finally there.
That's perfect, dude.
And it feels like a completely different game. If you were burnt out on what Destiny was, this is a good point to get back into it.
Come back. It's a comeback recommendation right now. And a teaser for our next week's talk. We will dive in deeper. Hopefully I can get a few more hours into the game, into the expansion, and hopefully I can rally up our damn red ginger, Matthew.
You can always hit me up to play with you. So
that too, yes, absolutely. So we will have more to say about that and the other game, hopefully in the next week, guys. So, anyway, we've gone long in the tooth. Super long episode this week. Just me and Nick trying to cover all our bases, trying to review what we could. Not much to say here other than thanks for watching and or listening, where podcasts and video YouTube forums are. Guys, this has been episode 122. 122, Nick. We've hit 122, sir. I was hoping for a little bit more of a hot damn out of you, but I guess that's what we're gonna get at 2 a.m.
It's more of a people put up with this long.
True. I should be making more narcissistic jokes like that myself. All right, good. But hey, anyone that is sticking around and listening, thank you for watching. And
we love you guys.
We love everyone that's here,
except for you. I don't know what's going on there, Ed, but
just you though. Whoever you are, just the one you out there.
Someone's gonna be watching this, and all of a sudden they're gonna be like, "What the fuck did I do?"
They're gonna feel super guilty. What are you talking about? I love you guys. Yeah, we'll see. Hey, tweet us or email us, guys. We'll read it on the show.
If there's anything you want us to review, TV, movies, games, let us know. We'll cover it.
Recommendations and or suggestions are always welcome, guys.
We actually have been wanting it for a while, for people to recommend stuff they want us to go over. That way we can know that way we can go over not only the stuff we love to do, but the stuff you guys love. So that's why we do this. We want to spread our
word of nerd,
our joy of gaming and joy of everything we do, and why not also
throw it our way too?
Get input from you guys. So
throw it our way as well, friends. Well, Nick, I think all that's left to do is bid our friends a fond farewell for the week. So, guys, this has been your Nerdy Essentials. And, as always, we'll see you on the other side. Oh, I sunk that up so nicely with you, Nick. Thank you for not faltering and holding off.
I thought about it.
You did.